Welcome to
The Layered Tribe,
where we're unmasking blend reality. Happy Thursday, y'all! We have 2 more days to do our final first book review series, Blissfully Blended BS. For today's segment, I just pulled out some of the topics that I just related to. I related to so much of this book that I just feel like we're best friends because I haven't met her or talked to her, but I just feel like I get it, she gets it. I just feel like so much of the book is like, me too, and us too. I just wanted to go down a few of the top points that I related to. One of the things that she talks about is communication. As my husband says, it's a marriage issue. It's not a layered tribe issue. It's second marriage, third marriage, or fourth marriage issue. I mean, I guess it could be if you can't figure out how to do the communication. Yeah, okay. So, but she did talk about that, trying to over communicate became a point of contention because she's like, I wanted to make sure that I'm tiptoeing on the eggshells correctly. And I love the sarcasm because it's like totally me. Like, oh, really? Well, let me make sure that I do this to the best of that you want me to your standards. And so I could relate to just the sarcasm and kind of like how we talked about the pettiness of, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything to your specification. I do think that does seem kind of be just a marriage issue where I guess kind of the respect comes in and it's like, okay, maybe not going down that path would be a little helpful to a successful layered tribe. Easier said than done, but I could relate. I could totally relate. Another point that I could relate on was her frustration on just like this list of things being unresolved. We did do a worksheet together on like how to resolve issues, and I think I came at it full-fledged. I equated it to my husband like the Marie Kondo method of organization, where she takes everything out and dumps everything in one pile so you can see the totality of what you have. That's me. I want to see it all. Bring it out. The nitty, the gritty, the ugly, the good, the bad. Like, I want to put it all out on the table. I want to see from every angle what we're working with. This is completely overwhelming to my husband, and that's what I did. I came at him and he's like, we need to have a weekly meeting, and I was like, great. Here is an Excel spreadsheet with multiple tabs of every single thing that I think is wrong that we need to work through. Now that I think about it, that was not nice. Anyway, I think I'm gonna have to apologize to him for that tonight when he gets home. He likes to take things one at a time, 2 at a time maybe. It becomes overwhelming, depressing, and just like sad. Like everything's going wrong, nothing's going right. Very pessimistic point of view. So I can see how she's like, I would look at this list of issues right now and just be like, is anything gonna change? And just being frustrated because not seeing the changes in the way that she would want. And I get that. It resonated with me. My husband does not handle anything straight on. He is not a straight on person. I'm gonna let's tackle it straight on. He's a thinker. He's a waiter. Let's see what happens. Slow cooker method. And I'm like, what's the most fastest, efficient, quickest way we can get there? Let's slice it. Let's dice it. How can we do this? So I get the feeling of frustration when you're sitting there and you're stepping back and you're looking at everything. You're like, all these things are not wrong. All of these things are wrong. This is just so frustrating. Nothing's changing. Nothing is changing fast enough. He didn't say this. He didn't do that. And it's just like, I get it. Another point I related to was, she talks about, and this is a quote from her, I have become pretty protective of the few staples that I like to always have on hand. And that's when she was talking about having orange juice in the house that his kids aren't just like blasting and eating through. It's like we become so territorial now that we have these people that we're not related to in our realm, in our sphere. And it's all of a sudden it's like we're 5. I kind of get it because it's like going back to what earlier this week, we're talking about not feeling at home in your home. And it's like, well, these are my creature comforts that I like, and you're taking them away from me. And I could relate to that. And I appreciated how she talked through that on several points. She talked about her own version of being a middleman, of trying to placate at her husband, then boyfriend, and her daughter at the same time. And the feeling of being stretched thin and unhappiness. And I don't think anybody really talks about that feeling of neither your spouse nor your kid being happy, which is kind of what our Jack and Jenny segment talked about, touched on a little bit. But when your kid is unhappy, you're unhappy. When your spouse is unhappy, you're unhappy. And now you have your kid and your spouse, and you're constantly in the middle of them. And that feeling is very frustrating. It's such a downer. It's very, I should have had my feeling words with me that I got from our therapist. But it's exhausting. Honestly, it's exhausting. It's exhausting to be constantly the middleman between the two. And she talks about that. She literally said, it's a tightrope walk from hell, trying to make everybody happy while I'm stretching myself paper thin in the process. And that is the harsh reality. And I could so relate to that, because even to today, I find myself less and less. So maybe like Jackie did say, in 20 years, it won't happen, but definitely less and less. I find myself in that position, which is much more comfortable. Horrible in the beginning. And then when she talked about how she didn't like it herself, because she found herself criticizing more than complimenting. And I get that too. I definitely get that too, to be in the position where you're finding yourself criticizing more than complimenting. And it's not a good, comfortable, or fun, or happy position to be in. I really enjoyed this book. We have one more day to review. I'm very thankful for her points of view on all these things, that I realized I'm not the only person that has felt these negative feelings, these unhappy feelings, these very heavy weighted feelings. It's helpful to know that somebody else, you just feel like you're suffocating at times. And it's good to know that somebody else felt them and then they didn't die. That's all for today. Ciao, bye. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. We welcome comments, testimonials, thoughts, questions, or rants, either by submitting a form on our website or leaving a voicemail at 281-946-9886. This is Jenny, and I wish you strength, grace, and wisdom as you continue this tricky journey with your modern layered tribe. Bye.